What a difference a month makes here in southern Ontario, Canada. Last month it was so cold that my poor little pup Leia couldn't even go on the walk with us. She had to watch from the window because it was so cold. And I had a hard time walking around the yard because it was so cold. So here we are. It's beautiful March, and let's have a look around the yard here at the Bluebird. Well, there's almost no snow. There's no ice in the river right now. It's hard to tell. Sometimes there can be some more let go, but I don't think that's going to be the case. There is a little bit of snow, or there was this morning when I looked out over here. Yep, there's still a little bit down in the creek. A little bit there, do you see it on and the water is so low right now. It should never be out to here. It's usually up into here. So I hope, well, oh, there's a robin up there. I don't know if you can see it. See the robin in the creek? Oh, so nice. Yeah, if we look down on the stairs, they go so far down. Look, here's some heron tracks. Let's follow the heron tracks here. And this is the lowest it's been. I've done other videos. This is the crack that I tried to grow the Scotch moss in. There's still a little chunk of it there, but it looks like it's not gonna make it. Well, you never know. Maybe I see a slight bit of green. That would be very interesting if that came. So the water was coming up to this step here, and now I'm below that now. Look at, I've got all of that step, this one, all of it, and then there's a couple more that go into the water. But these, I really wasn't expecting that these 2-footers would come out of the water. I just hope we can get the boat off the lift this year. We'll see what happens. Okay, so, oh, so much nicer out here. This little area is where we're keeping some of our rocks. Most of them are 8-inch for steps. We do need to put a set of steps that goes from this level to that level, of course, and I'm hoping to make that a nice big set, so we'll use a lot of them for that. This area here, I'd like to keep this as a ramp so that we could drive around. But I do want to have some steps that go this way to the door and some steps that go this way, which this will be a fire pit area. Okay, show you from a different angle here. So yeah, this will continue to be the ramp, and a couple little steps fit into the hillside here and the hillside there. I'd like to get them to balance, but I'm not sure that that's going to work out with the plans. Here, look at the, oh, just that was a bee. And yeah, we don't usually see this much land here. I like it. Like, it would be nice to be able to swim from there, but we've got to have enough water to get the boat off the water, and that is a concern. So this big ramp right here is not going to stay. That ramp there is for the machines to get up and down. Seems pretty steep to me, but the guys don't seem to have a problem running that excavator up and down that hill, or the skid steer, or the backhoe. So this, you can see right from there going across, it's going to be some retaining wall, and I'm seeing the metal break wall put in is what I would like. I think that would be a nice complement to the armor stones over here. Okay, here the house is actually going to come out, probably about here, and the doors for the basement will open up onto here, so it'll be a patio. This patio, and then the fire pit is going to be here. We're going to try to make sure that it's a step down a bit so that we can see over the furniture when we're looking out the basement window at this view. That is the DTE over there. It's not running anymore. It might be nice if it came down. There is another power plant behind it. You can slightly see the two stacks there, but it's actually quite a bit ways down and back in. But the freighters come into here and they do a little spin around, which is really cool to watch. And I've got lots of videos on that, and I will probably take as many videos as I can on it because it's so cool. They still unload coal to that power plant that's in the back. Okay, so here we are on the lower level, and my stairs going to the water hole. Let's get a good look at those stairs. I've got, you can see here, I've got finished off, we've got edging, metal edging, and it does have some garden cloth over it, and I've left the garden cloth because I figure it'll break on its own, and as the dirt settles into it, I also would like to get maybe some topsoil to finish off, to put some really nice grass in here, give it a good start. But so there's cloth in here, and it's kind of weaved a little bit. We've done some layers with it, and put the rock on there. It's rip wrap and bigger rock. Rip wrap has like sharper edges. Like this one is rip wrap. You can see it's sharp edges, and then the round ones are river rock. The river rock I'm just using as a top dressing just to look pretty, and you can see it's done here on this side of the steps, and I really like the look of it. It just finishes it off and fills in all the holes, whereas over here it's not. This is the rip wrap and the bigger rocks, but it's not filled in with the river rock like the other side is. We'll get to that. Reason we haven't done it is because we haven't done the finish edging on this side, so that we can still add some drainage, some conduit for, you can see there's a wire there for power. It's just a temporary wire, but we've got to finish that kind of stuff up. So to do any finishing here would just be silly idea, because it might get damaged. So here comes my baby doll around the corner. She's happy to be outside here. Well, there's electric bikes going by. I really look forward to putting some gardens around. This is the terrace. This is what I call the terrace. My inspiration here is, never been to Italy, but I imagine I've seen lots of pictures of Lake Como. And I love the idea of a terrace. So that's what I'm shooting for here. We'll put gardens down below all the way around. I would like to put a nice bench here. I don't want the gardens to like overtake. I want to still be able to see the rocks, because I really do love these rocks. Wow, it is warm out today. I've got a sweatshirt on and I'm almost ready to peel it off. So the terrace here, I don't want to lose these maple trees. These maple trees they're not the best. They've been left unattended for a long time, and they've got some roots. These are lilacs that were growing out of the tree, but it's just so hard to get a fully grown tree down here and not obscure our view or our neighbors' views, right? So these ones here we're able to cut up so that we can see through them below the branches. So I think what we're going to do is do a raised wooden decking kind of around this, and then we'll do other concrete or interlocking for the rest of the patio up here on the terrace. I'm thinking we may have to use the interlocking because it is possibly a spot where things could shift, right? We do have some of these that need to be reset. Oh, there's the for sale sign. We took it down on the lot until we get the restaurant moved, but it will go back up. So I just laid it down there. So I think it'll be neat to have, if we do that little platform there, just at like sitting height. So it's on a hill a little bit, so it'll sit higher at that end. Over here, it'll come around there, and you'll be able to sit all the way around. But as it comes around here, because the ground is sloped down, there's not much of a slope, so it'll be a natural area that you could step up on to the platform if you would like. And actually up here it's very nice up here. I've got some hammocks that I got in Ecuador, beautiful hammocks in Ecuador, and if I could figure out how to hook them up maybe between these trees, that would be really nice. But you can see here, I don't even know if is that a maple tree growing out of a maple tree, or I don't know. They're not the healthiest trees, but I haven't figured out what to do with those yet. This evergreen's going to have to go, and I'm considering moving it, but it is getting so big, so I'm thinking what I'll do is when the machines are here, maybe we'll do a root chop on one side and leave it for a couple weeks, and then a root chop on the other side, and then try to relocate it, see if there's a gentle way of doing that. I'm not sure. Yeah, so with this gentle slope that goes here, I'd like to keep that. We considered building up the retaining wall here a little higher. I'm bringing everything to it, but I'm going to turn around the other way. So here's between the oak tree and this old olive tree is going to be a bit of an addition that comes on this way. Okay, so there'll be two basement windows, one there, one there. The basement windows, when you're there, you're going to look out here, right? So if I squat down, so we're better off having the terrace at a lower level so that we can see out those basement windows and over furniture and such. And that evergreen's not going to help with the view there at all. Okay, so these more of these 8-inch steps. I think we have more than we need, but it is quite a drop down here. So here, I'll walk over to the edge. When we do a set of steps here, I can see these are piled 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 high. So we're going to use 5, 7, 8 to 10 of them maybe to make a set of stairs that goes down. So that's going to use quite a bit of the big ones. And then when we do the stairs over there, we're going to use maybe 4 on each side, maybe 5 on the far side over there as the ground drops. And then I think with the other ones, we're going to use those in the other side of the house, the front yard. And I'm not sure if we'll use them for steps. We may use some, but we may end up cutting some of them to use as like garden edging and stuff like that. All right, so there's my oak tree. I'm not sure if that's going to stay. I think it's safe. I did plant that. I think it's safe to stay there. But the lot line here, you can see right there is the icebreakers. Icebreaker is a group of metal posts that are clumped together so that the ice hits them and bounces around your dock, or here, I'll zoom in a bit, or breaks up the ice so there's smaller pieces coming to your dock. So you can see that is the, my finger, icebreaker, and then next to it there is a post, and that will be the lot line for the lot over there. Oh gosh, it's so beautiful out here. I can't wait until we have boats in the water. Oh, and here is the lot line here. So the neighbors over here have a black metal fence that goes down the lot line on that side, and I'm thinking we'll just mimic that and bring it on the other side so that whoever has this lot here will have nice black metal that you can easily see through. And you can see that it doesn't block the view at all, that fencing. It's very nice. My only concern is the dog getting out underneath, which I don't really see her right now, so perhaps that's already happened. I gotta get her for a good walk. This beautiful weather's got us all wanting to be out here having fun. A little bit more dirt for us to get out of here. We're gonna have a lot more dirt though, because this building here is what we call the restaurant. The dark building with the brown brick. And that's why we call this place the Bluebird, because this was the Bluebird restaurant. And at one time there was a motel kind of thing here. And I think that's why this garden in the middle of the yard here is here. I'm not exactly sure where it was placed. Maybe when we do some work, we'll unearth some evidence to help us figure that out. But we are going to have to move this, and we're going to have to do that this spring. We're going to crane it. That is the plan. That should be an interesting day. Brad's going to get some metal put underneath it, make some good strong frames. We're going to take all of the bricks off of it, windows out, take her down as far as we can so it's nice and light but still structurally sound for the move. And we're going to have to set it aside. It has a basement in it, and I've done basement tour. Creepy basement tour. You have to look at that at Halloween. It's quite the basement down there. But we'll move that aside. We'll have to take the basement out. And then this is the residence where we live now. The 2-story portion is going to be torn down. Then we're going to dig a basement, and we're going to take this building back. We're going to turn it so it's the long way, going like this. I think that this end that we're looking at is going to, it's just going to turn like that and go right here close to the house. So we'll keep that portion of the house, and we'll dig a basement first before we set it on. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but the basement is going to come out a little bit farther, which is why this poor, gorgeous oak tree is going to have to come down. But we're going to mill it, and it is probably going to be my family dining room table, and it's going to be pretty close to the spot that it is now, which I think is super cool. It's the coolest thing that I think I can do with it. So this is going to be a really big job for us, and all the while I'm dreaming of making this into a gorgeous garden. Lots to do around here. I'm going to take you up to the front of the house so we can have a look there. Okay, here we are at the front of the house where you can see the restaurant straight ahead and the house. Now, the zoning that we had to change, the house was actually commercial and the restaurant was residential. Very odd. So our lot line here is, there's orange paint on the concrete that shows the lot line here. So there, if we follow this straight up, that's where the lot line goes. So right through the restaurant. So it's kind of hard to sell a lot sell a lot to build a house on if there's already building on it. There's a little shed. We did mill one maple tree, and all of that wood is in the shed, and it's beautiful. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we come up with for that. So it will be a good sized lot here, although it's hard to have that vision with all of these buildings on it. So we're going to work on that. And right now there's a driveway here and one way over there. It looks very commercial, and we get a lot of traffic that comes through here because of that. But what about where the mailbox is the lot line, right? So we're planning on taking that driveway straight out from the garage, because the garage portion is what's going to stay. It's the 2-story part that's going to come down, and have a driveway that comes straight out from there. But I would like to have have the driveway circle around because of this busy road. If we circle around here and come out at the mailbox over there, that would be nice. I'd like to add a little extra parking right in here. But in the middle here have like an island with a garden. And I think that this island with the garden, it's maybe hard to see that now the slope goes this way, right? The slope, it gently slopes to the river, so it goes this way. So those extra 8-inch rocks that we have, the armor stone that we cut, I think we can use a lot of them up here along the driveway to try to make sense of it all. Yeah, so this part of the house is staying, and I look forward to making a beautiful walk through here. And this is going to get morning sun, and I'm hoping to plant some hydrangeas to try to hold the soil up too. It's good to plant some stuff. We'll have a gate. I think the gate is probably going to go in back here a little ways because it gives us a little bit more space for the front. And very close to where that vent is, I think this side of it is where my tub is going to be. My bathtub with a window. So I would like to be able to sit in the bathtub and look out at the river. Now I'm not sure about this evergreen, but I do not want to take this out. If it is in the way of my view, I'm thinking what I will do is thin out these branches. They were thinner when we moved in, but the soil was all falling away from it before we did some repairs here. So I think it was going to die soon. And my son Trent, who's a heavy equipment operator, he pulled a bunch of dirt here, and there was a huge hole. There was a huge hole here that went right up into its roots. And I thought for sure this thing was going to die with all the work we did around it. But it looks so healthy and beautiful. So I really want to keep this tree. This window here is going to stay, and that's going to be our bedroom window. So where I'm standing now, I'm thinking a nice, and that window to the basement, I think we'll make that a little bit bigger. So I can't plant anything underneath that's going to block the view there. I'll come over here so you can see the view. Oh, and look at there, I found my Shih Tzu. Look at, you see her over there? Oh, Lelu, you bad girl, come on. Come on, sweetie pie. I know, she just can't resist. There's so much cool stuff over there. The minks and squirrels, and we've even had beaver come up through here. Don't know what she'd think if she came across a beaver. I don't think she'd like that. We almost did that on the trail. But right here, if I did like a butterfly garden and do some, I'm thinking of some grasses maybe on there. Something not too big. I want it to look controlled and not messy. But I'll plant the grasses down the hill a little bit so that I want to see their feathery flower come up at the top and mix in with some flowers on the top. But I just don't want it to be a messy, out of control wild garden. But we got to kind of, obviously there's a line here that we got to try to blend the wild with the tamed, and we'll see what happens with that. These rocks here, this armor stone, and there's a playlist on this, and the whole idea of this, we called it my perch. We set these stones in to try to hold up the soil for this elm tree, this beautiful elm tree. Oh, we get the birds here. We can see from the window the kingfisher lands there and then goes to the other trees, and he goes out and he catches his fish, and he goes out to the dock, and we really enjoy that. Leia, come on, honey. Come on, babe. But I don't want the soil to fall around it. So we put these here, and I was thinking I would make a little bit of a pad around it so we could sit on them. And when I come over here, you'll see what I mean. It's a very nice spot to sit. I really like this. But we've reset them twice, and they're still they're still not straight. You can see here when I get back. You can see they're still sloping. They've done a great job of helping this elm tree for the time being, but we are going to take those out. You can see there's a curve. We're going to take those out, and then we'll use riprap and just plain rock along there to support the dirt. And those ones are going to be the back portion here, so they'll curve around this way of our fire pit when we dig this down. Okay, so What a difference a month makes here in southern Ontario. Last month I came out here and I was just hustling around, and now I'm out here and I don't even want to stop. I just want to keep looking around and coming up with plans. I find that so exciting. I can't wait to get doing some things. Spending a little time on the dock. All my chairs are all laying down there. I'm going to have to set those up. I got lots of chairs out there and it looks a little messy with them, but I just don't want any chairs in the yard. We got to cut around, but I'm excited to get started, and next month seeing what happens around here. Brad's working a shutdown. Shutdown means the plant's closed down. He's a pipe fitter and they do all the work, so he's hoping that the money he makes from this shutdown will clean up our line of credit so that we can get ready to load her back up on this old girl here, this crazy bluebird house.